turn on my mic. That would help. Good morning. Emotional debt. I was watching Chase Hughes again, and I just wanted to go through what he had to say about emotional debt. And I think this will help a lot of people. So here we go. It's the wrong panel. Here we go.
Emotions in a way that I think you've probably never heard them in your life described about. But if you've studied neuroscience and then like hypnosis and interrogation, then you might have thought about what we're going to talk about tonight. Something tells me that's a rare thing. The one thing I want to say about emotions is that they do not have an expiration date. They will never in your life work themselves out. If you didn't process it, you're still paying for it. So like right now, tonight, while you're sitting here. So your nervous system is running an open tab. And that's kind of how I view a lot of these things, just these tabs that are open. So every emotion that maybe you choked it down instead of feeling it, every bit of grief that you skipped over, every rage that you maybe smiled through, every time you said like, I'm fine, and your chest was on fire. All of that goes somewhere. It went somewhere. Wherever it
Good
went,
morning.
it started occurring interest. So the thesis for tonight, every unprocessed emotion becomes a line of credit that your nervous system is silently paying interest on. This thing that we all call personality is usually just a collection of unpaid invoices from childhood. So the title of tonight's lecture is Emotional Debt. So if you think like, oh, I'm just an impatient person, that's not a temperament that you have. That's a bill you haven't paid. Your need to stay busy all the time isn't because you're ambitious. It's a payment you're making on something. And maybe you can't sit in silence. And when you think, oh, that's just a preference that I have, that's an avoidance of a creditor somewhere. But let me give you the biology of this first, so it doesn't sound like a yoga retreat. Let's go deeper into this stuff. When something emotionally significant happens in your life, and your system doesn't get to complete that response, the charge of that emotion doesn't disappear or fade off. It gets stored somewhere. And specifically, it stays lodged in a lot of these things called subcortical structures. This is the amygdala, the insula, the brainstem, the body itself. The body is subcortical if you just take a look at anatomy. But they're not stored as memory. And that's the one big mistake I think a lot of people make. They're not stored as memory. They're stored as a state. This is the part that people miss. That
Hey,
when
Wyoming.
somebody has trauma, they're not remembering something. They're not remembering some unprocessed emotion. This is re-entering them. And that's
Thank
a huge
you.
difference, remembering versus re-entering. That's when you can be 45 years old, sitting in a boardroom meeting somewhere, and somebody raises their voice just a little bit, and then you're not 45 anymore. You're 7, and you don't know why your hands are shaking. That's not like I got triggered in the way that people bullshit about on TikTok. It's your nervous system replaying an incomplete response because it never got to finish. So here's how it actually works. Here's the real biology of this in a way that I've never in my life seen anyone explain any of this stuff, and I wish I had 20 years ago. So when a threat or some kind of emotional event happens, our autonomic nervous system mobilizes this response. You've heard the list before. It's fight and flight and freeze and fawn, friend, whatever you want to call it. If the response completes, if you fight and then you win, if you run and you escape, if you cry and somebody rescues you or holds you, the charge dissipates. So the system goes back to baseline. It files the event as boom, that's been resolved, done. But if the response gets interrupted, so if you can't fight because you're a child, if you can't run because it's your home and that's your spouse that's doing the traumatizing, If you can't cry because crying gets punished in your house, the mobilization doesn't ever complete. So in the energy that was mobilized, like all these resources that got spun up, they have to go somewhere. So it gets locked into the body. Maybe it's a bunch of tight shoulders or chronic jaw pain or stomach problems that you've been to 50 doctors to try to figure out, and nobody knows what's going on with your stomach. So it's just kind of this little baseline hum of anxiety that's been there so long that you think it's how you are. We call it personality when it's just storage. There's storage happening. There's this guy named Peter Levine. He created this thing called somatic experiencing, and it showed this decades ago. And this other guy, his name's Bessel van der Kolk. He did a bunch of actual research that confirmed a lot of this stuff. So the brain's primary number one job, it's predicting what's going to happen next. So if an emotional event just goes throughout my life and it's unresolved, the brain starts scanning for similar conditions. You think it's doing that to heal? No, it's doing that to prevent. It's a prevention mechanism. So it builds this architecture in your brain to avoid some things. Don't get close to people like that. Don't say things like that. Don't feel things like that. Don't be in a room like that. And over time, those micro avoidances become your entire life. So we say like, oh, you need to step out of your comfort zone. You don't have a comfort zone. What you call a comfort zone is this perimeter around your nervous system that's built around the things that it couldn't finish processing. That's it. That's your comfort zone. So, and what happens to debt over time? It compounds. So now we have compounding debt. And what we're looking at, this isn't a metaphor anymore. This is the math that your body does. This is real. And 4 things happen neurologically when emotional debt accumulates. I promise you biology, here it is. Number 1, you have this thing called the amygdala. This is a big emotion center, but it becomes hypersensitized. If I have several events happen, the threshold for activation for the next event can trigger my amygdala even easier the next time, especially if it's within like 90 days. So it takes less and less over time to set you off. So you used to be able to handle criticism, and now just somebody's tone is a little bit off and it ruins your day. And you think to yourself like, well, man, I'm getting weaker. That's not weakness. You're accumulating interest is all that's happening. So the second thing that happens is prefrontal cortex starts losing ground. It starts losing its ability to dictate what's going on, to think. This is our executive function, our planning, reasoning, impulse control, perspective. And you see chronic emotional activation literally reduces prefrontal cortex engagement. So the amygdala starts running more and more of the show. So you become more reactive, less reflective, more impulsive, and less patient. You're paying compound interest on a debt that you just didn't know you had. So the third piece, this is something called the HPA axis. This thing stays activated. So HPA stands for hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. Your stress response system is what this thing basically is. So when emotional debt accumulates, cortisol stays elevated. And what you're thinking might be a crisis, it's not a crisis way. It's in a background hum kind of way. So chronically elevated cortisol suppresses what's the first thing that it shuts off? Immune system function. Second thing is the architecture of your sleep, the quality of your sleep. The third thing is your ability to consolidate memories. Fourth is it increases what's called visceral fat storage, which automatically, as a cascade, accelerates something that scientists call cellular aging. It's a fun word for dying. That's your body paying the bill. When you have emotional debt, it doesn't just make you feel like it ages you. It makes you sick, and it kills you probably, I would say, at the same speed as cigarettes. And there's the fourth thing that happens here. This debt doesn't act like a financial debt. Now the debt starts turning into a recruiting agent. Unprocessed emotions don't stay isolated. They start pulling other systems into the payment plan. They're going to get co-signers on the loans. They need more payment. So your relationships become debt servicing arrangements. Your career becomes a distraction strategy. And what of all the habits that you have? They're interest payments. The collateral, it's your identity. So everything starts organizing around the debt. And from the outside, and even in the mirror, it just looks like, oh, that's me. That's just how that person is. That's just their personality. That is a nervous system drowning in a load of compound interest and building an entire life around staying just one payment ahead. Now we're going to do servicing the debt. How do we service the debt?
Here we
So if
go.
emotional debt is a compounding thing, the system needs a way to manage all these payments. So it can't process the original emotions, right? That window kind of closed. Debt servicing never reduces what you owe. It just keeps you from defaulting today. This is the most common payment plan on earth, is numbing, some kind of anesthetic for what's going on in my life. Alcohol, weed, scrolling, food, shopping, binge watching, TV shows. If you're very, very honest, we're not doing those things because we really deeply enjoy them. We do it because feeling nothing is cheaper than feeling everything that we owe, than thinking about the debt. And the
So
thing
true.
about numbing, it works. It works. And that's why it's so hard to stop. And everybody thinks, man, I wish I had some more discipline in my life. Then I'd be able to stop the porn. I'd be able to stop smoking crack. It's not discipline. It's a successful short-term debt management strategy. The debt is patient, like every debtor is patient. They wait for the vacation that you can't enjoy, the retirement that you will never sit still in or feel any kind of purpose in, the weekend that's going to fill you with absolute dread instead of the rest that it's supposed to fill you with. That's the bill. The next most popular thing is performing. And these people become the funniest person in the room, the most charming, the most helpful, the caretaker, the most agreeable, the most fine. So when we see a lot of performance, that's servicing a debt. And I want you to view this as both like, this is how you can change your own life, but this is also how you can profile people that you speak to every day. Everyone's servicing debt. Loneliness, massive, like 27% APR loneliness. And it's not the loneliness where nobody's near me, nobody's around me. I'm at home with my cats and This is the kind where everyone's around you and no
Fair.
one knows you. Not one person truly knows who you are. That's the most expensive loneliness that you could ever experience. So they think that that edge is like some anxiety from their life. The edge is what? Now that you know, it's debt. The substance is the only payment method that they found that works fast enough to keep them functional. So self-medicating is also about speed to normal. If you take the substance away without addressing the debt, you're not going to get somebody that's like recovering or anything like that. You get a person drowning that has nothing to hold on to. Why does like 90% of addiction treatment fail? It confiscates the payment method without acknowledging the debt. And then there's the relational version of debt servicing that everybody mistakes for love. The person who can't stop giving in relationships, they overfunction. I'm going to anticipate every single need that I possibly can. They're going to sacrifice, they bend over backwards, and they're like, this, what I'm doing right now, that's love. That's just debt servicing. But they're thinking like, if I'm really needed by somebody, if I can make myself so necessary, you're not attracting into your life what you want. You're attracting what your nervous system recognizes, whatever it grew up with. If love came with anxiety, you're going to feel most alive around people who make you anxious. If being like close to another human came with control, then you're going to feel safe with people who dominate you. If you were 8 years old and love or affection or appreciation came with conditions, you're going to grow up feeling that the only love that's real is the kind that you have to earn. You're going to walk past the person who offers you peace. Trauma is an event
Oh,
that breaks through my system's capacity to cope with it and finalize a little loop. That's all it is. You can point to it, you can name it. Clinicians can give it a ICD-10 code or a DSM code from the psych manual. Emotional debt is an accumulation, is
love
not
that
an
book.
event. 1,000 probably small moments where something was felt and not finished. You needed to be angry, or you needed to kind of vent, and you learned it wasn't safe. You were 6 and you had to grieve something, and somebody forced you to be strong, to look strong. Times you needed to be a child and your parents made you be the adult. They ruin your life worse than PTSD, and none of them are trauma in a clinical sense, but all of them created debt. And I'm not trying to blame your parents for anything. They probably did their best, as most of ours did. Why did your parents do this to you? Because they were in debt also, big time. They can't give you something that they never got. So they passed the balance of their debt forward without knowing it. And now that's in your account. Financial systems have this. There's a point where the payments can no longer cover the interest and the structure collapses, right? That's bankruptcy. So emotional systems have the exact same threshold. And when you hit it, the results are very predictable. You have a breakdown, you have a health crisis, your identity collapses. Sometimes all three of these things happen at one time. Everything that works to resolve emotional debt, therapy, somatic work, TRE, trauma releasing exercises, psychedelics, breath work, meditation, maybe just one of those seminars where you like stare people in the eye and never speak to them, and it's like a little culty. They all share one active ingredient. It's
Wait,
perspective. Not perspective like you have to look on the bright side of things. And I also don't mean it's perspective like other people have it worse than you. That's not perspective, by the way. That's comparison and contrast, wearing it like a little self-help costume. I'm talking about perspective as a mechanical shift in vantage point. Meditation, DMT, mushrooms, LSD, MDMA, perspective shift. Cognitive behavioral therapy, really, really long time. But at the end of it, there's some perspective shift that happens. But that single shift, the shift in perspective, is the how of how emotional debt gets processed. And I will go out on a limb and say that it's every time, and there is no exception. There is zero exception to this. Think about what happens in therapy when it actually works. It's not the advice. Even therapists will tell you this. It's not the diagnosis that they get. It's a moment where you say something out loud and hear it from outside of yourself for the first time. You've been living inside of a story for maybe 30 years, and suddenly you're looking at the story instead of from inside of it, from above. Your debt actively prevents you from gaining the one thing that could resolve it. The avoidance, numbing, busyness, whatever you want to call it, caretaking, none of that shit is random. It's a defense mechanism against what? Perspective. Telling somebody in a massive emotional debt to just feel your feelings. Imagine one of your friends comes to you and calls you and it's like, hey dude, I just found out I'm $400,000 in debt. And your advice to your friend is, well, just start saving. Then you're a moron, right? It's technically correct and absolutely useless. So what actually works here is a series of perspective shifts. Step one is to see the payments. From unconscious to conscious, most people that are in emotional debt, they don't know they're in debt. They think they're just tired or they're stressed or I'm getting older. That's how life is. The first move is learning to see the pattern. If you react disproportionately, that's debt. That's the first big thing that you need to become aware of. When you avoid specific feelings with predictable behaviors, that's debt. Every time. If rest feels dangerous, that's debt. When you can't be alone in silence without reaching for something, that's debt. When your body has like weird tension in it and like weird, where you feel like all the time like you've got to go get a massage, but there has no physical explanation, that's debt. So you don't have to know the original event. That's the good news here. You don't even have to know what the hell happened. You could have amnesia for your whole childhood. You'd still be fine. You only have to see the payments that you're making. That's the first shift from inside the pattern to slightly above it, even if it's an inch above it. The second step is to name your debt servicing behavior. This is the second shift. So from embedded to observing. So everybody has a go-to. So what is your debt serving behavior?
Right.
Numbing, anesthetic, overworking, performing, controlling, helping, self-medicating, withdrawing, whatever. Don't judge it and don't try to stop it. Even more good news. You don't have to give a shit about stopping it. You just name it, because naming it creates distance between you and the behavior. This is a big thing for your brain. And like coming up with a name in your mind and saying, oh yeah, I got it now. It's different than like writing it down, printing it out, putting it somewhere where you're going to see it. Distance is where all choice lives. And I want you to remember that. And that's just when I talk about PSYOPs, if you summed PSYOPs up in like 3 or 4 words, it would be closing distance. If I close distance, well, I eliminate choice. I just make you live inside of the thing and you don't know the difference. So the moment that you see all of this and that your behavior isn't just who you are, then the thing starts to kind of stutter a little bit. And it's not a stop, it's a stutter. You're going to start experiencing little stutters because you're going to be hyper aware of all your debt servicing behaviors. So that's perspective really kind of doing its work. You move the vantage point 1 more inch and the whole system flinched a little bit. That's really good.
Number 3.
So step 3 is let your body finish what it started. So all the emotions stored in your body are maybe some kind of incomplete motor responses, right? You never got to fight. You got to run away and escape. The scream that kind of maybe stayed in your throat. The collapse you never got to surrender to. You think those are memories. Hopefully by now you know better. Those are not memories. Those are unfinished moments, unfinished movements. And the body has to finish a lot of those. And I don't mean intellectually, I mean physically. This is where we have shaking and tremoring and crying without a story attached to it. I would highly recommend you look into these neurogenic tremors, or there's like 90 brand names for neurogenic tremors now, even though it's just a natural response of your body. TRE is the most common brand name. That's like branding the word migraine. Maybe it's rage you get out of your body through movement, letting the body do what it was never allowed to do. But you can't do this from inside the activation. That's just re-traumatization. You do it from the shifted vantage point. You never do it from inside the system. It's like a fish swimming faster and faster to try to not be wet anymore. You can't do it from inside the system. You have to be out first. So present enough to feel it, aware enough to be able to watch it move through your body. That's the window of tolerance right there. It's a perspective. Close enough to feel, far enough to witness the thing. And this is where you have somatic work. There's all kinds of people that do all of this. Structured breath work, vagal toning, these extended exhale protocols. Cold exposure is one of the best in the world, cold exposure. And I don't think these are random like wellness trends. Our ancestors have been doing this shit for like 10, 15,000 years. They're the tools that expand the window. This is what our ancestors did. Our brains haven't changed in 200,000 years, and we have so much narcissism in our culture that we think we're going to invent a medication and outsmart these ancestors who built like pyramids and like figured out reality. They knew what they were doing. And a lot of this comes natural to us, but we suppress it. So we want to teach the nervous system that activation doesn't have to mean emergency. And I promise you, you will not ever think your way out of debt. You have my word. It's never going to happen. You have to feel your way out. You have to always feel your way out of debt from a vantage point where feeling isn't drowning, which is why we've got to get out first. Step 4 is stop taking on new debt.
Oh,
That's a big step. And this has to be a daily perspective practice. Every time you are choking something down instead of feeling it, and you say, I'm fine, when you're not. You're overriding your body's signals because you've got to do. You're borrowing again. You're back getting another loan out. You're adding to the balance. So just start with one thing. When you feel something, just stop and give it 10 seconds of your time. Just 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
And if you realize it later, take the 10 seconds right then, whenever you realize it. You don't have to process all that stuff fully. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to, and the biggest thing, you don't have to intellectualize. You just have to let that stuff land. 10 seconds, that's all it is. So what you're doing in those 10 seconds is you're shifting your perspective around in real time. Instead of being the person who might react, you become the person who just notices. You can still react however you want. You just have to notice. That's it. And if your nervous system knows that maybe feelings are allowed to arrive, it stops storing them. I'm going to say that again. If your nervous system knows that feelings are allowed to come in and fully be present, it's going to stop holding on to them. It's just like how your body deals with fat. Step 5 is get a witness. This is the deepest perspective shift of all. I would say this is like from isolation to being seen. A lot of emotional debt was probably 99% of your emotional debt was created in isolation. Even if there were people around you, you were mentally isolated. You were alone with something that was too big for you. A big part of what the system is still holding on to isn't just a bunch of emotion, it's the aloneness. Aloneness by itself is debt. The feeling of loneliness, especially in childhood, is debt. So the discharge process very often needs a witness. And here's my caveat to this. And maybe I'm wrong about this. It's not a person to fix anything. It's not an advice giver. It's not somebody who's going to like reframe all of your pain into a lesson. I mean a witness. Someone who can sit with you while something is like moving through your body and not try to make it stop. Whether you're sobbing, you have to tell this person, if you care about me at all, you will ignore me like a psychopath during this process. Your job is to keep me safe, and that's all. The other person's presence gives you a perspective that you probably can't create by yourself. Something happens when there's people around us. When somebody's holding space for you, like actually holding the space without flinching and without fixing anything, they become like a little mirror, in my opinion. In that mirror, you can probably finally see what's kind of been moving through you without being consumed by it. And it's the thing that most people needed at age 5 and didn't get. So getting it now at age 30 or 40 or 50 or 60, it's not going to undo what happened, but it completes something that's been waiting to finish probably for a very long time. You didn't choose your debt. Nobody opens a line of emotional credit on purpose. It was opened for you by circumstances that you didn't control. It was at an age when you couldn't understand what was happening, and you've been making payments ever since. All the little tight smiles, all the I'm good, the sleepless nights maybe, the relationship that collapsed under the weight of some random and you still don't know why that relationship collapsed. That's a system doing its best with what it was given. So I didn't want to make tonight about fixing anything. I just want to make it about shifting the vantage point, shifting perspective, because I don't want you to also think that debt is the enemy. Your fixed position inside of the debt is the fucking enemy. You move this vantage point and the debt starts to move with it. And you're going to kind of go from like, why am I messed up? What's wrong with me? To what do I owe? And then you go to like, how do I start paying it back? That is perspective shifting. And it's the beginning of everything.
Authorities are reporting a citywide manhunt underway.
But I thought that was really important. uh, Chase Hughes. I love Chase Hughes. Everybody knows that. But I did a live stream on childhood trauma, right? And it is death. It's a death that you didn't choose for yourself, but it happened. Karis and Beth, your husband died. Good morning, Holly. How are you? Good to see you. I thought this was really important to show this morning. Uh, I am gonna do. I'll let you know right now. I am gonna produce Dr. Fauci's diaries today. Uh, Probably sometime this afternoon. It's 476 pages, so I might just hit on the key ones and then put the link in to you can read it for yourself. It's quite disturbing. Um, you were your dad's marriage counselor. Was your mom emotionally abusive? She must have been carrying some. You you think about parents, right, and how they bring up their children, and you have to think about how they were brought up as children, right? And what occurred in their teenage years or childhood years. And it just continues on, right? But once we recognize it and, you know, look, it, there's a lot of medications out there, mental illness medications. I'm not saying don't take your meds, take your meds. You've got to take your meds. Doctor prescribes them, but you also have to communicate with your doctor, right? A lot of doctors, I have a doctor. Well, I did have a doctor. Well, I feel worse with this medication. Okay, I'll give you this medication to counteract the medication that I'm already giving you. And it went on and on and on and on. And by the time uh, I quit that doctor, I had two handfuls of medications to counteract another medication. I'm not saying doctors are bad, psychiatrists are bad. I just think a lot of times we're over medicated, and instead of actually fixing the problem, talking about the problem, feeling the trauma that we go up or go go into, go through. Medication is not always the answer. And I'm not saying don't take your medication. Don't throw them away. Take your medication. Doctors are there for a reason, but sometimes they don't listen to what you're saying. They don't listen to what the patient is saying. I have a real problem with that. And, some doctors, I think they need medication. But they look in a book, DSM, that's my favorite one. Um, they look up, the criteria for whatever they're trying to diagnose you with. And then all of a sudden, you're on a bunch of medication. And, yeah, and I'm talking about mental uh, doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists. Therapists, I think, are probably the best because they listen to you, right? Where your psychiatrist, you're talking to them and they just prescribe the medications. That's what I've experienced, anyways. Call me nuts. I don't know, but once you identify your trauma and feel that trauma and cry and scream and yell, you're going to be exhausted. There's no doubt about it. But Chase is right. Uh, I don't always agree with everything Chase says, but definitely this one hits home, and I hope for a lot of other people too. So feel what you're feeling. Don't just put it down and say, I'm stronger than this. If I show emotion, I'm not gonna be seen as strong. Hey, good morning, GB. Good to see you. Uh, Stop worrying about what other people are thinking about you. You know, you talked about the phone a little bit. I got an indicator on my phone, screen time, I guess they call it. And I got a notification. I have an iPhone. I got a notification on how much screen time I use. I don't know how long this is, but I had 55 minutes. Can you say the same? Do you ever get alerts of how much screen time you use on your phone? Mine was 55 minutes. I don't know if that's for a week. I don't know. Every once in a while it'll pop up and I just, okay. I don't use my phone a lot. I just don't. I don't use it to scroll. I use it to text people and call people. And every once in a while I'll switch on YouTube or something, but that's rare. Now, if you look at my computer screen time, it would be off the charts because I'm always studying, right? And I study on my computer. But don't be afraid of showing your emotions in front of other people because they don't matter. Other people's views on you don't matter. It's you that matters. Cry in front of your kids. Oh, it gives them permission to do the same. That is absolutely wonderful, Beth. That's absolutely wonderful. Yeah. We're always afraid. It, I look at my grandparents and my parents for the most part. There was always this don't fight in front of your kids, which y- I some things I don't think you should do in front of your kids. Okay. If you are having a messy divorce or things like that, and you're calling your spouse all different kinds of names, you shouldn't do that in front of your kids. Or if you're having a physical argument, don't do that in front of your kids. They pick it up. They take it with them throughout their lives. They don't forget it. It's always in your brain. Yes, you can process the trauma from the right brain into the left brain, and that's processing. But you have to identify it first. You have to deal with it. You have to feel it. You have to recognize it. The brain is the most complicated organism, and it will do what the brain does. The easiest way the brain will take. So when you're scrolling on your phone or scrolling on your computer, notice what you're looking at. Write down what you're clicking on and why are you clicking on it. That's really important. Identify what you're watching, why you're watching it, and what your reaction is to watching it. If you're watching something angry, with people fighting on a panel, like I just watched with uh, Granny's watching, people fighting on a panel, four people fighting on a panel, and everybody in the chat is just ripping and roaring. Why? Why are you watching it? I watch it to study people. I watch it to study human behavior and learn from it. But a lot of people watch it for the excitement. Uh, they think they're doing a good cause, whatever they're watching it for. I don't know. Some of the comments are so vile. It's like astounding that people would actually say this. Would you say that in real life to that person to their face? That's what I want to know. Would any of these people, I've been exploring this dark side of YouTube, which isn't very dark. I think it's just kind of a gray sector of YouTube, and everybody's fighting, suing people, and you know they get you know thousands of views, and they make a lot of money at it. So is that content creator just creating mess so people will watch the antics and the fighting? Is watching that fighting and arguing a way to just relieve their own stress in life or their own boredom in life? I don't know. I don't know. But my advice is when you click on something and watch it, uh, write down what you're watching, how you feel, and why you're watching it. If you want to watch all these banshees yelling and screaming and suing each other, that's your thing. I do it to study human behavior, and that's all. You know, do I get mad? Yeah. And I think what are these idiots doing? And I will play some of them to show. Oh, and why do people lie so much? I'm not sure why do people lie so much either. It's a thing. Sue a bitch is a thing. You know, you said this about me. How dare you? Right? Which, what? 10% of people are not going to like you just because. And you're worried about what somebody says about you. Who cares? That's a them problem, not a you problem. You walk into the store and you think everybody's looking at you. This actually happens. You walk into a store, you think everybody's eyes are on you. Why do you feel that way? Why? Take that 10 seconds, and I've said it before, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and ask yourself, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel like everybody's watching me? And why do you always have to be careful about what you say to people? It's like, e- I don't know, bitch, I think it is a bad term these days, calling somebody a bitch. Who the hell knows? I don't know. I grew up with calling people bitches all day and all night. It makes no sense to me. Tit for tat. But if it feels their subs and yeah, it does feed their subs and members. And you have to wonder, what are you giving your subs and members? Are you giving them the truth? Or are you giving them a show? You know, yeah, we call out Jed. We call out truth, of course, because they're lying manipulators. Magnolia. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I'm just chit-chatting right now. But I'm always going to call out liars and manipulators. People aren't going to like it. But it's just that. And they manipulate people to make money. That's all it is. Or for attention. Some people just do it for the attention. To have people say, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, I was listening to Granny this morning, and it's like, she's always screaming like a banshee, saying the same shit. You didn't go through what I went through. Okay. But every time she gets online, she yells and screams. And she says respectfully. And she's not being respectful. Not at all. If you want to get on your channel and yell and scream and have a fit, that's your channel. But why do people listen to it and believe it? I just think they, like Wyoming said, they feed into what their subscribers expect. They expect the drama. Don't you have enough drama in your life? Isn't there enough going on in your life uh, for you to deal with? Or is it an escape? Do you watch? Let me put this on because this is what I was watching this morning. Granny's watching right here. Uh, I'll play a little bit.
You're literally repeating what nonsense says, which is cool because she was somebody that did it too. But now all of a sudden it's coddling me and I'm babyfied and I'm all these things in between. Should my chat start cursing me out?
But Samantha, you also have to remember Brittany, the fighting with Brittany is when I say new to all of us, I'm gonna
This, This Britney thing, it is just, I want to put the chat in there. And I commented in this because Clue, it definitely talked about Britney's baby. That she needed to fix that club foot because she was a spider and she needed to carry all the other spiders and vile stuff. I was trying to lose weight. We had group Zoom calls. I could not understand why I craved donuts. Oh, donuts. Oh, every morning your dad took you to a coffee and donut shop. Before swimming? You see, my parents wouldn't let me eat before we went swimming. It was a thing. You can't eat before you go swimming. Is that still a thing? I don't know why. I don't know why my mother wouldn't let us eat before we swam. It was it was taboo. You definitely, most definitely could not eat before you went swimming. Um, but I don't know the logic in it. Things get passed down generation to generation, right? It was your special time alone eating. Oh, eating donuts was comforting. Yeah, food is comfort food. It's comfort food. It's a thing. But watch this chat. This chat on Granny's watching her.
say 2 years old, okay? But
Oh, I
with
get a
Jess
drink.
and her core audience,
Coffee.
they've been fighting with Britney longer than I've even been around. Like, so their fighting with each other is not quote unquote new. It's not. This is goes way back to like 2020, if not before that. I don't know. So I think people forget that too. That someone like I don't know, Megan. She's been around long enough that yeah, she's gonna have Jess's back tenfold because
Really,
this isn't new to
Magnolia?
her. This goes way back to the beginning
Wow.
of when her and Britney started fighting, and I think that's where people forget.
Well, Brittany didn't come on YouTube, I don't think, until 2021, but, go ahead. This Brittany. What was I listening
Since
to?
gone through enough in life so far. It's a tough situation. Personally,
Oh, beat him with his logic. Beat him jumps on everybody's panels. Uh, oh, is that why? So you wouldn't get cramps. Now, I love donuts, and I'm a little upset. The last 2 times, because everybody knows I don't go to the grocery store anymore. I don't. I just don't. I order out, and by ordering out, I don't mean uh, what is it, DoorDash or whatever you get food delivered. But I order it from the store, Instacart. But they didn't have my donuts. Son of a bitch! The last 2 times. It's so disappointing. I wanted my donuts with the frosting on them. Oh, really? Compet. Ooh. Oh. So you needed to eat to keep the energy up. You know, when I was going into police academy, uh, they always told us to eat noodles or pasta, uh, plain, nothing on it, nothing. Plain pasta, and the next day you would have more energy. And it's true. That is true. I would eat plain pasta before the next morning in training, and I had a lot of energy. Let's look at this. Let me put it on live chat here. And this is what I want to understand. What is going on?
I'm trying to avoid talking about the baby, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, the baby.
You know what I
Because
mean?
that's
Brittany's
Brittany's
baby.
shield from criticism. That's Brittany's big woe is me. Oh, they called the baby clubby. And it's like, okay. Meanwhile, your mods called my daughter a whore being gangbanged by men in and out of hotel
What?
rooms. I mean, you know what I mean? Like they've all said horrible.
What the fuck are you doing? I mean, you know, uh, why they let this woman back in the fold? I don't know. Because she hates Brittany now? It's they go on and on.
This is all so foreign. It's so nasty and it's so,
Yep.
you know.
I said that last night. I was like, it has gotten so bad around here. and the
Really?
hatred and the nastiness, and
Really?
it's a lot.
You think?
Read my avatar. Palette
I'm
cleanser, read my avatar.
Seriously?
and I apologize again, Laura. I'm sorry if this hurt your feelings, my comment.
It's
I
not
didn't
a matter of hurting my feelings. It's spreading rumors.
yeah,
It's
I
not
didn't
hurting feelings. Hurting
no,
feelings is like, Laura, you're a fucking asshole. Okay, that might hurt my feelings. Not really, but you know what I
Oh,
mean. That's something that hurts feelings. When you spread blatant rumors, that's spreading rumors. It's not hurting feelings.
uh,
yeah, I apologize.
no, that is hurting feelings. Definitely. When you're spreading rumors about somebody, that is definitely targeting them to hurt their feelings. Because why? Why do you want to hurt somebody else's feelings? It's ridiculous. It's just, ah, man, I'm so sick of hearing about Brittany. Is that all they do?
Truth and they think it's okay. And it happens with BJ. There's some people that go way too far on her, like that Racking person. That was not a good idea to fucking pull up FOIA on that thing. And you
Well,
know what I
she's a
mean?
mod now, so
Yeah,
Oh,
she's the man
jeez.
now. She's forgiven. As long as she gave a couple of super chats.
yeah, it's not defamatory because he didn't insinuate or put a name on it. He didn't do that.
What?
So it's not defamation, but that's part of the problem too.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not illegal to dig in somebody's Facebook, and it's not illegal to tell people, I'm not going to give out names. All of it's not illegal, but are we talking about, I mean, this is YouTube.
yes, it's YouTube.
Yeah,
I think it needs to go back to what
I think y'all need to get out and touch the grass myself. I'm just watching you to laugh at you and to study you. That's what I want. That's all I'm doing. Studying you.
B Tim is stating, and like BJ is a perfect example. She goes live every night. She gives more than enough to review what is said on the platform. It's all this other craziness of going off the platform into real lives that's like gone too far.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
but the problem is also she puts way too much on fucking line, like the baby. I don't know why she keeps on putting the baby on there. She tells information about the baby. I mean, I know why she does it because she's using the baby as a shield.
Oh,
And I try to skip out on that part, but that's basically it. She doesn't really care. She's like the
uh,
opposite of most mothers, where they protect their children. She puts
I'm sorry. I don't like you, B-Tim. You try to come into everybody's chat. Queen bees, grannies, whoever. Well, Clue got kicked out for good reasons. But I watch the chat and I time it with what people are saying. So if you watch these channels, and I know some of you do, if you watch these channels, I like Soup because Soup is logical. Okay, she just is logical. I have a lot of opinions and a lot of things about other creators, and in this sector I'm talking about. But why? And there's the money. Eh, money.
there. She might have been like, okay, let's take it to trial.
Uh,
Did you ever think about that, people? You know,
Well, all they think
people,
about is money. They don't think about any of the other parts of it, and it's quite tiring.
as you're getting money, you just, I have a great little tool that tells me any creator on YouTube how much they make. How much they make a month. It's a nifty little tool that I have, and it tells me. So, as you're making all of this money, Granny, what are you doing? The same thing. Yes, you went through a lot of trauma. Your kids went through trauma. But when does it end? When does it stop? Or is it just going to be this rotation? I mean, you were part of a RICO. But somehow it's all BJ's fault. I don't like BJ either. It don't get me twisted, but when is it? When is this circle gonna stop? When the money dries up? When is the outrage going to stop? When the money dries up? When the subscribers say, "Okay, I've had enough of this." I
Tiresome, to be honest. I mean, yeah, the money part of
like
it's
the
infuriating. It
cat.
sucks. It's a lot. It costs a lot. It's all of that. But there's also a mental strain on it.
yeah.
And these people just think, and that's why I think a lot of people think, oh, well, like Brittany, oh, if I get sued, I'll make a lot of money and da da da. So I'm either making a lot of money and I'm driving off in an RV, living a great life, or I'm paying monthly on a $26,000 bill, or I still have upcoming bills because I'm sued again. Which one is it? Am I living
Yeah,
this high fucking financial life where I'm just living on a yacht, or am I
well, maybe a
fucking
But I don't think you're living on a yacht. And Granny, I'm sorry for what happened to you. I am. I am. But you have a lot of tells about you. You really do. And she's been sued 3 times. For what? Same cat is more entertaining. I know. I love the cat. It's so I wonder if I can get Bear to do that. Do you think I can? I think I can.
Golf
Around
cart. Oh,
and
you got a
fucking
golf cart?
lawyer bills. And again, none of these were my own fault. None of these did I deserve. None of this that I asked for. Every other creator could be sued by the same fucking format, by the same fucking people. I didn't go out and seek this. I didn't deserve it. It's not because I didn't shut up. It was all fantasy. The
You can sue a watermelon. You can sue a carrot. I think Status told me that once.
judge deemed it all frivolous. They had to prove their claims and they couldn't because it was all made up. Yeah, you people keep
Okay.
acting like it's okay. Instead of it's like
Who?
blaming the poor for being poor while celebrating the rich. It's stupid. I didn't cause this. I didn't do this. I didn't ask for it. I don't want money going towards it. I didn't none of this was anything. But instead of being mad at the
What?
people who did initiate it, instead of questioning them on why they would waste this much money, why they even did what they did, you all
What?
point your fingers and act like we're the bad guys for being fucking sued. Because in your
Yeah.
world,
Who? Who? See, this is it, this is a twisting. Who's blaming you, Granny? Who is blaming you? It, what people did to you was terrible, horrible. But who's blaming you? It, this makes no sense to me. But the chat has slowed down, right? The chat. They were talking about, and I know a lot of people don't like Britney and don't like me playing Britney, but I'm giving this as an example. You know, I didn't know about pancakes though. Is it plain pancakes? With no butter or syrup? Oh, the butter and syrup. You know, we think about bacon and eggs as Americans' breakfast, right? That was all a not psyops, but it was an experiment and it worked. We did that with Haverstock.
or else we
It,
could have just shut up. But you don't read the document. You don't read what the fuck they filed, or you would see nothing they filed was even correct. None of it was factual. It was all fantasy. They couldn't prove a single thing of it. Julie
uh,
Valente sued me on behalf of her mother. You know what the shit on behalf of her mother was for? The shit Brittany Jackson said.
okay,
Make that make sense.
I don't
Pinky's up,
know.
by the way. Pinky's
But the
up.
thing I think people don't give you or Queen Bee enough credit for, not every dollar that you make needs to go to a lawsuit. Like
Yeah.
that's what they're trying to do, and that's not right.
That's your super chat.
I'm throwing a random
What?
number out there. Let's say you made 10,000 a month. Okay,
So what? Who cares how much you make on YouTube? I'm not even gonna make my $100 mark for next month. I'm not. Because you know, I don't I- look, I could blow up this channel and just play Britney all day and all night. Yeah, I could blow up this channel, absolute. I could play Granny all day and all night, or B, or I don't know how many channels are out there that I just don't like. I could absolutely blow up this channel, 100%. It I might you know what? I might even try to prove that one day. I honestly I maybe I will do an experiment, and a lot of my subscribers aren't gonna like that, but I might do an experiment and play these channels and see what happens for hours on because they go on for hours and hours and hours, and I don't know how people can sit for 7 hours, 5 hours, and listen to people fighting online, and they love it. I think I will do an experiment on that this week. I'm gonna do an experiment in human behavior and see what happens. I think I will. So, I know my subscribers don't like it. They don't like the drama, but I think I wanna do a test. Yeah, I wanna do it over on Freaks and Frauds, but I like the psychology, so I might just do that. I don't know. Now, I'm gonna get zapped by a couple of people. "You said you weren't gonna do that ever." I know. but it's just a thought in my head. It it's an experiment in my head. How to blow up your channel. How to get people riled up. It's just, and this is it. These This is insanity. You know, Granny comes in all nice and peaceful and quiet and
which is why I often take a step back.
well,
That
kind
the
of.
longer you stare at the monster, the more you become. Don't be
Yes, that is the best advice you could ever give, Granny. The more you stare at the monster, the more you become the monster. It's true. It's absolutely true. Don't become the monster. But look at her chat. Look at her chat. It's ridiculous.
become that monster. There's
Yeah.
no reason. It's not cute. It's not funny. It's none of those things.
No,
I
it's
saw somebody
not.
write that in my chat. You're being deleted on site because we're not doing that. The
Ah,
baby is innocent. The
it
baby is pure.
is.
The baby
It
is a
is.
baby. Do you hear what I'm saying?
It is.
Don't do that shit. It's gross.
So why did your friend Clue get on Kick and call that baby the most vile things that you could? And Clue, I recorded it. I did. But Granny, that's your friend, Clue. Who's setting you up? She's setting you up. Oh, who we got here?
J-Dub, yes, I am.
I haven't heard anybody. I haven't seen or heard anybody say it. That's where I'm coming from. I'd like proof to see that anybody said it at all. My understanding is no
Really?
proof was shown, but that's the problem with it, right? Because Brittany purposely goes live and she'll say like, "Oh, they were saying
They
they
are,
said this, they
Beth.
did that," and then people speculate on who they is, and I'm tired of it. People need to start putting a fucking name on it.
Yeah, and here's
Ah,
another thing. Stephanie SW
Clue.
says, I heard Laura's chat said it. No, nobody in Laura's chat said it.
Clue
Ever.
said it.
None of my mods would allow it. I wouldn't allow it. No.
Nah.
Sorry. And that's how rumors get started. And that's why people say, oh,
Oh,
Laura's so horrible. If it wasn't
ah,
for Granny's mods, I would never even know this. Like
okay.
nobody I know was watching Queen Bee. I would have no idea.
What is that? What are they showing?
And
Yeah,
thank God it
Mom.
got back to me.
So
Oh,
here,
shit.
well, if Laura calls the baby chubby, is outraged. If Clue did it, it's hysterical, unfortunately. And then she fixes it and says clubby.
It's
So while
true.
Laura calls the baby clubby, is outraged. If Clue did it, it's hysterical, unfortunately.
So why is it okay for Clue to say all these vile things about BJ's tribalism? Absolutely, Beth. Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you need a little orange juice, Mom? Mom woke up with a headache this morning. She's been resting. It is tribalism. It's kind of fascinating.
She has a heart up for certain people. Heard Laura call the baby clubby.
That's not all Clue said. And I'm not even gonna repeat the vile shit she said. I did a live stream on it because I recorded it. And I don't know if I deleted the live stream or privatized it. I don't know, but I was pretty pissed. How you doing, Mom?
Hmm.
Good, thank you. Good. Feeling better?
Yeah, because clubfoot is
Good.
that's right. Clubfoot. There's many reasons why that can happen. No, Clue, I
Right.
only heard Laura call the baby that. I don't know if that's true though. Not Clue, but wouldn't put it past her either.
Look at the chat.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the
Right.
fuck?
And you know, Just Samantha is a
Oh,
trusted QB person. I don't know
oh,
why, but
trusted
she's a trusted
QB.
QB person. So people are like, oh wow, Laura must have said it. She only said it 5 different ways.
Oh, okay.
And then it spreads to, oh, Laura didn't say it, her chat did. And meanwhile, none
Oh,
of it is
right.
even true. Didn't
Oh,
happen in my chat, had nothing to do with me. And honestly, I would never say something like that.
right.
It's fucking
Honestly.
gross. I'd say it about Brittany. I wouldn't say it about the baby. I
Oh,
mean, shit, I'm
okay.
a mom.
Yeah, right.
You're
Right.
right.
That makes all the difference.
They do stir a lot of trouble. Yes, they do, Tiffany B. Yes, they do.
Who?
I have to disagree, Cheesy. I thought she was a good person, but she is definitely always, and I confront her on it. She's in the Discourse always talking shit about me or Clue, always trying to like, here she is.
Clue.
Here, would you like a link?
I was just going to ask you.
Laurie said multiple times, I don't know if it was true, but you wrote it multiple times as if it were too. So you
Uh-huh.
can't really have it
Okay.
both ways, right?
Uh-huh.
And you even said, just Samantha, I heard Laura say it.
You did. It literally says, I
Good
heard
for
Laura
you,
say it.
Wyoming.
Say it. I heard Laura say it.
Yep. So now you
A lot of people have said vile things about that poor little baby. Uh, yes, I'm having coffee with my mommy. Uh,
just
good
lying,
for
saying
you.
that you said multiple times in chat you didn't know if it was true.
What? What?
Heard Laura called that baby clubby. That's literally what your comment says. Heard
Uh,
Laura called the baby clubby. This is why
status.
I try. I've said it several times. Steer away from speaking about the baby at all. I get Brittany speaks about her. It's her baby. She can. Just like I can come on my channel and speak about my kids. Doesn't give people a right.
You're absolutely right, status. Del Mar's running. Yay. Del Mar and Saratoga run at the same time. Almost, almost, almost. Saratoga had to cancel the other day, because of the rain. Yeah, I know. It, this channel was never built on making money. It never was and never will be. But I think I might do a little test and find out if I study these people. It's just something I study people. It's a thing.
Right to do it too. That there's no reason for the baby to be such high discussion anyway, to the point where anybody's calling her clubby.
Well,
Stupid.
they
For
do.
your mind to even go there is fucked up.
Well, you
Like, I'm
did.
sorry, I don't know who said it, but for your mind to even go there about a little child, a baby who did not ask to have club feet just because mom is an asshole is fucked up.
Well, it could also be hereditary. You know what I mean?
True.
Or
Oh,
there's
really?
who knows, but
Who
I mean,
knows?
she did at one point. She said, "I heard that Laura called it," but then she typed right here, "Heard Laura calls the baby clubby."
You know,
Thank you, man.
I was watching this one day, and I told mom, I said, "Watch this," and she says, "What's wrong with these people?" I said, "No, just watch, watch the chat, and look for those colored boxes. That's money." And she started shaking her head, and she's like, "Why are people giving them money for this? Okay, can't they get a life? Can't they grow up?" I'm like, "No, this is their life. This is how they're making their money, kind of, sort of."
Mad dog.
It was not Laura. It was a chatter, and she admitted she said it. Laura had nothing to do with it.
Ah,
Well, but this is so all right. So just Samantha heard as in rumor, right? Okay. Well, I heard that you say
rumor.
it. You see how that works? Because people aren't going to run with the part that, oh, well, it's just a rumor. You didn't necessarily clarify it's just a rumor. You wrote it out several times throughout the one chat.
Now, Samantha, how would you feel if I sat up here because there were 770 people in that chat? So right now we have 878. How would you feel if I said, I heard that she is a mole for nonsense
Ah,
and
look.
she takes all of
Oh,
screenshots
receipts.
from Queen Bee's Discord and gives them to nonsense, and that's how nonsense knows what's going on? Would you like that? Now that 800 and something people just heard that?
Oh, don't forget the people on Kick. Shout out to you,
Yeah,
kickers.
forgot about
Oh
Kick
yeah,
too.
kick,
I mean, that's how shit gets
back up.
started, and that's how fucked up it is.
Uh-huh.
And
And
believe
where did you hear it from, just Samantha? Where'd you hear it
Right.
from?
probably Wispy.
Because you heard it enough to repeat it, which means you heard it from somewhere. So where did
Oh,
you
for
hear it from?
Pete's sakes.
Just because someone said it doesn't make it true. I, for one, don't believe everything
Oh
I hear and I
shit.
wouldn't repeat it. Just
I
saying.
clicked
Yeah,
the
but a lot
wrong
of people
button.
do, and that's what sucks.
Damn it.
But if you're
Hurry
in
up.
a chat
don't know.
with
There.
like 100 people or 200 people, it's not that big of a deal. But when
Right.
you start spreading
What?
lies to
It's not that
700, 1,000 on people that get, I'm
Wait
only
a
kidding,
minute.
cheesy.
Stop talking. So if you're in a chat where there's 200 people, it's not a big deal. But if there's 1,000 in there, it's a big deal. That makes sense. Oh my gosh. Yes, the horses are more profitable.
When you're getting 1,000 people live and then your replay is gonna have 6, 7, 8,000 views, yeah, you gotta watch what rumors you start.
No, I don't care if you have 5 viewers or 9 like we have right now. You just, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many people you can have one person watching you, and that one person will most definitely take back what you said about another person. The logic, it just doesn't add up. Did you get your coffee?
I got my coffee.
Yay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. She's having trouble waking up this morning. She had a headache.
She said it. Well, B Tim said it on panel. Jeez, just Samantha.
B Tim didn't say that I
What was
said that.
that?
I didn't. I missed all of this. I
Uh,
didn't even know there was a
I didn't.
discussion about the baby in such a manner. To be honest,
oh, yeah, okay.
Just Samantha, why don't you take a link?
Yeah,
it's
take
easier
a
to talk
link.
it out than to read from chat. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we can. This could be worked out. You're saying you
Oh,
heard it as a rumor.
uh-huh.
We're just asking. Well, Laura's just
Right.
asking, like, well, why, where? Please do not lump her with
Clue.
the hive. She's a member, stands on her own personal views. Well, I feel the same way. Like every chatter stands on their own personal views. I think what Laura was saying is she's an active chatter that people recognize there. So when she says things, people
Uh-huh.
tend to believe it.
Okay.
No, I agree. It's not just Samantha.
And when you say things, people tend to believe it as well.
That does it, Hartley. A lot of people do.
Uh-huh.
Right. He probably said that off of your comment, though, just Samantha, which is,
Ah,
you know what I mean?
right.
Because at that point, the only person that was saying Laura, as far as I don't know, I can't say as far as I'm aware because I didn't hear any of it, but it's in these screenshots that is you. So maybe B Tim would say, oh, it's a rumor
Granted, that's always your go-to. I didn't hear anything.
that Laura said it, but I need a clip based off your comments. And that's how
Uh,
it spreads.
uh-huh.
No, not saying, no, she's not saying that. B Tim, nobody's saying anybody called the baby that.
Oh, please.
Hey, just Samantha.
Y'all know Clue
So,
said it.
good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry,
Oh.
I was sleeping. I was just had John in the background. That's what I do
Yeah.
to fall asleep.
Oh my gosh. Status, that's right. They are all true crime. I mean, there's a couple of them that are not true crime, and they just, what do they call it? Channel watch or, what do they, what's that term? Where you, watch a channel and talk about it, like I'm doing right now. Yeah, it's like a quilting bee. It, they ta the the stuff they say is just a but I wanna know why people watch it. Ugh.
I forget it's so fucking early.
Ah,
So I guess from now on, I can be very clear when I say heard versus hear. The
But what?
oh,
conversation was Laura, or the conversation was BJ's baby being called names. Who said
oh,
it? Where was that said? That starts the
Blue said it. I played it.
conversation in chat. I said I heard Laura call the baby Clubby. Then I was very clear to
Oh,
say I
careful.
don't know if it's true. I heard like
Be
rumor. B
careful.
Tim read about it being a rumor and was very specific that
Okay.
he would need the clip or a receipt to make sure that that was true.
Well,
Oh.
where did you hear it from?
Thank you.
I don't know if it was in Poppy's live that you came up on panel. Is
What?
that where it started, Laura?
No, never.
With the
They watch so many channels and so many fights, they don't know who said what, when they said it, how they said it, or where they said it.
with
I
Wendy?
didn't.
I thought Wendy's. I'm not sure.
I didn't even hear that come up. I was watching
Nope.
that stream. I
And there's somebody, text Clue and ask her. Yeah, because Clue said a bunch of vile things about that baby.
didn't hear that. I didn't hear anything about
Never
Clubby at
came
that
up.
point. Mm-mm.
I never heard anything.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not sure then. I'm not sure to be honest. I don't travel that far. I thought it was
Now you're
I
not
thought it was
sure.
in that chat.
Okay. I thought.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't recall that being a conversation there either.
I don't
The
recall.
chatter who typed in clues was not recognizable by me. I saw it while chat was flying by.
Flying by.
Yeah. And the fact that, in a chat of over 1,000 chat, and that one comment
Whoa.
stands out, and then it becomes, Brittany's woe is me, and then it
Goodness
becomes a whole discussion.
gracious.
Then it's, well, Laura, I heard Laura say, and now people are like,
That
oh, well,
was a
I heard Laura
reach.
say it, and then it flies like wildfire. You know how that
Wow.
goes.
I did
Now,
it.
in all fairness, it could have been said in chat by one of my haters just making up shit because
Oh,
that's all they do.
haters.
That's possible. But
Haters.
that's something that should have been stopped on the spot. Like, okay, you're
What?
saying she said it. Where's the proof? Where can I find the proof before I bring this up?
What is this with these haters? They hate me. Just because somebody talks shit about you, they're gonna talk shit about you. It doesn't matter who you are, what you say, and nobody cares. You just, but I'm watching it for the psychology. I really am. And I love laughing. It's like Jed, right? It's like Jed, you are so stupid, and do I don't think that lawyer wrote any of that, and there. Never mind. I won't say it. I can't say it. I'll open my mouth.
over to
Let out
somewhere
a
else.
secret.
I have some of the most vile haters on this internet who will
No,
lie about anything
Why
just
isn't
to
no.
put my
Brittany
name
putting a
out
name
there.
on it? Why isn't Brittany putting a name on it? Why isn't Brittany saying, "Hey, the
Oh,
chatter, 123 pi called my
there
baby"?
we go. Back to Brittany. Let's just ignore the chaos going around you and just put it on Brittany. I don't like Brittany. She lies, manipulates, but I don't cover her because it's like, uh,
Baby clubby. And then there wouldn't be this fucking speculation around it. Instead,
oh, for
everybody runs
Pete's
with it that
sakes.
the pathological liar is being honest about it. Well, where's the proof?
But to be very clear, Laura, I did say after more people started to be talking about it, I don't know if it's true because I do know people run with shit. I don't lie on this app. I don't have a
Oh,
reputation as a bullshitter. And
uh,
that's what I'm saying. Then B. Tim made sure to read, however I said it that third time, that I
uh,
never heard this myself. And that's
uh,
when B. Tim said we would need a receipt, and he shut it down. That,
uh.
But
Right.
once
He
it's
shut
out
you.
there, it's out there.
Well, to be fair, he shut you down because at that point you're the only person saying it, right? So
Uh,
we have here, well, if Laura calls the baby chubby, which you meant clubby, it's outrage. Clue did it, it's hysterical, unfortunately. Now Sky said, just Samantha, you heard that. Now it starts being repeated that Laura said it, right? Because others just hear what you're saying, they trust your word of it. Then you said, heard Laura calls the baby clubby. So you're not saying, like, you're saying, heard Laura calls the baby clubby. So now people are like, oh, so it must have been Laura that said it. And I get that beats him eventually, and you're splitting up comments, right? So, like, you're like, oh, I heard she said it, but I don't know if it's true.
How would you people get out and touch the grass? Just reach out. Hey, you know, I read a statistic, that, 90% of our time is spent indoors. Not for everybody, of course, you can't put a label on everybody, right? But it's a scientific study they're doing. How long do you stay inside? I'm retired. Yes, I spend a lot of time inside, but I go outside and touch the grass. I do weeding and tend to the roses and all that good stuff and take a walk down to the pond and stuff. But i- it's hard for me to go anyplace because of Mama C, right? But hey, get out, breathe some air, air.
True. But unfortunately, the part that sticks out is I heard Laura say it.
Uh-huh,
And that's what people are running with. And you don't
uh-huh,
even know where you heard it from. So like
uh.
you're just running off a rumor that you're not even sure where you heard it from. And now that's how others do it too, because that's how people operate. You know that.
Right. Well, stop talking about it.
yeah, I didn't think it was going to become a thing. Sorry, Laura. Like I
Oh.
said right there, I didn't know that if it was true, maybe I should have just typed that over and over. And I do stand on my comment that if Clue said it, it would be hysterical versus you, Laura. You would get the hate. And I think you
There's the
would agree
money.
with that, honestly.
Money.
I do agree with that. But it goes back to this isn't your fault per se. I just don't know
Oh,
why my
per
name
se.
gets brought up with everything, even
I
stuff
don't
that I'm
know.
clueless about that I have no idea about.
Clueless.
And all of a sudden my name gets thrown into it. I don't know why.
Oh,
Maybe it was after you came on piano with Cappy that
I'm
Wendy
embarrassed
went
to
live
know
that
what
morning, and I
quilting
watched
bee
a few minutes
is.
of it because I don't just make shit up for fun around here. That's not the reputation I have. So it could have been that chat, Laura, which was full of your haters.
Well, Status, you do come from a small town, don't you? Or quilting bee. Well, did they fight like this with quilting bees? I thought quilting bees were just, where women got together. But women are notorious for gossip, but so are men. Men don't want to admit it, right? But men are notorious for gossip too. Oh my gosh. Stop it.
Oh, I
Uh,
don't doubt that for 1 second.
Because I know I
Okay, but
heard it somewhere. Like I'm saying, I'm just not known for going around and making shit up. And if
making shit
somebody else
up.
said it in clues, right?
Monique, good morning. We're learning
apparently,
human
I don't know.
behavior.
But I know you're not making it up because you heard or read it somewhere, right? But
Oh
there was still no facts to it.
oh my gosh, they're going on and on. They go on for like 2 hours about this, who said what and when and where. Monique, how are you? We did Chase Hughes in the beginning, emotional debt, and now we just kind of roped into this and watching chat and studying human behavior.
Right? You didn't hear it yourself. You didn't see proof of it being done, yet you're repeating it as if there may be
Ah,
some truth to it.
To
And I
oh,
thousands of
okay.
people.
right. And I
thousands of
do think
people.
maybe a bit of it has to do with the fact that you do have a strong dislike for Clue, for Truth, for me, maybe
Uh,
even Laura. Because if the conversation was reversed and somebody was running around saying I
money,
heard it was Queen, you'd be the first
ding,
one to say,
ding,
"Where's the
ding,
fucking proof?"
money.
No, that's not true. That's not how I roll. I don't know why people
Uh,
think I have this disdain for Clue. I actually think her and Cletus are quite funny, and I like their relationship. And Laura, I
Lou and Cletus are vile. That's why they got kicked off of YouTube allegedly.
was in Laura's chat. Laura, you can confirm that. You said,
Uh,
"Why aren't you green?" That was months ago. So
green.
I don't comment on
People are
who I
green
like.
now.
And I'm also an advocate for where the fuck did receipts go? Because they
Oh,
went out the window.
advocate.
Look what just happened to Bitter Tea. And I didn't think this was going to become a thing. So
Bitter tea.
But it was a thing when it was happening. Like that was the
Uh,
whole discussion, right? Brittany said somebody called the baby clubby. Of course, that's a big thing. People talking that way about an infant is deplorable. It's going to be a
uh.
topic. Then it's okay. Well, who said it? Because Brittany says they said it.
So why don't you just continuously on a loop saying somebody called a baby clubby, 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 clubby. You see what I'm getting at? You're just repeating what other people are saying, Granny. I don't know how many times in this live stream you have said clubby and referenced it to BJ's baby. It's a 3-month-old baby. I'm not saying that Granny is calling Brittany's baby clubby. What I'm saying is you're repeating it over and over and over and over again. So it's the same thing, is it not? Get a life. Oh, you have a
And
life.
it's a whole,
Uh,
big shit show trying to figure out who said it. And there's the typical people that
why?
always get fucking blamed. And
Why?
unfortunately, your comments added to that.
Oh, for Pete's
And you don't even
sakes.
remember where you heard it. And that's just how. But I appreciate you having the discussion. And I think you understand what I'm saying as well. It's like, unfortunately, that would be enough for others to run and say, "Well, I also heard Laura said
Review.
it,"
Yep.
because they saw just
Oh,
Samantha type it. Not that they actually heard it, but they
that's what they're called. Review channels. Reviews.
saw it typed. Because this is just
yeah.
how this fucking place is.
Yeah.
Well, they would also see just Samantha type that. I don't know if it's true. And
Oh my
B10 said,
gosh.
"We need a receipt." So that was kind of made it clear for me.
For you, not for everybody, because not everybody sees all of just Samantha's
Why?
comments. They might just see one or two, and they don't see the third because the
Why?
chat's moving.
And Samantha, honestly,
Oh
and this goes for
gosh.
everybody, if this
Uh,
was a few years ago, it wouldn't even matter. I'd be like, believe what you want. But I have tried so hard to come back from you know what
the
and
abyss.
have tried everything I could. And something like that, it
Uh,
just makes people like, see, she hasn't changed. She hasn't done anything, blah, blah,
for
blah.
Pete's sakes.
And that see, but
That's a
here,
you
Laura could have read
problem.
out loud, not read. No, Laura never said anything of the sort.
Ugh.
Not in a comment, not anywhere.
Uh-huh.
But it's like I've tried so hard to come back from it, and something like that just pushes it back, like way back to
Right.
where we started. Laura hasn't changed. Laura's this, Laura's that.
Oh,
And
for
that's why
Pete's
it
sakes.
hurts.
Oh, it hurts.
I think some people, especially after you're going on Kathy's, Laura, it doesn't matter what you can do or say. And I know
Uh,
you want to move on from it, but it
oh,
seems
move
that other
on.
people, they're just not going to fuck with you. Like that's just their line for them. There's no, I can give
Look at
somebody
all the
second
fruit.
chances and see that a change can happen, but there's a lot of people in the community that they just don't feel that way about you.
No, I
You
don't,
know?
and that's fine. Not everyone's gonna like that. I'm
Oh,
totally fine with that. My point
everybody
is,
hates
adding
me.
rumors do not help the situation. Just like if I went around stating that you were taking screenshots out of Queen Bee's Discord and giving them to Nonsense, and that's
Oh,
how
for
Nonsense knows
Pete's
what's going on
sakes.
in Queen Bee's Discord, you wouldn't
Oh
like
my
that.
gosh.
And that's a rumor I heard. Is it
I-
true?
That
I
is an
don't
actual
know.
rumor.
oh my gosh. Running around. Fucking high butter. Ah. Yeah, people hate me, and there's a good reason people hate me because I call them out on their bullshit. It's a thing. It's a, it's just watching uh, all of these people. It is fascinating on how the human brain works and the emotional debt they're carrying. Uh,
Yeah,
but
Well,
I don't know.
the Queen knows my character for 3 years now, and I'm pretty sure
they
she
are
wouldn't believe
Beth.
that.
I'm just saying though, but if I just said it randomly with
Uh,
it, it gets
randomly.
people questioning. And then people
Oh.
like, maybe that's true. That's what I'm saying though. It's just nobody likes rumors when there's no proof to back it up. Like, I don't have proof
God.
of it, but I also wouldn't run
Oh,
around
good.
spreading it, but I'm just trying to show you a point, like, my point that you wouldn't like it knowing this video is gonna get probably
Oh,
10,000 views. So
did it?
10,000 people are gonna see
Wait a
that,
minute.
and here I just put this out there. That
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. How many views did it get? 6,787 views in 23 hours.
that's basically what you did.
Ah.
Well, I apologize. I didn't think it was gonna become anything.
Oh,
And like I said,
I
maybe I
didn't
should have put,
think.
I don't know if it's true every time.
Uh-huh.
Or at least know where you're quoting from if you're going to say it.
Well, I just, after I thought about it, I said the Wendy did a morning live, and that's more than, I'm 90% sure now that's where it came from, which I
Oh,
agree with Laura was a chat full of her haters.
Right.
So that wasn't the best place to take some
so now you changed your story.
to hear something and not actually hear Laura say it. For me not to have the
Uh.
receipt, that was a wrong move. I totally can see that.
I appreciate that, just Samantha. I really do.
Oh my
You know what I mean? It
gosh.
doesn't have to be a big thing. You recognize it, you're saying it, and I understand. I
Uh-huh.
get it.
Yeah,
I
they
get it.
lie. I'm telling you, I have some of the most vile haters ever. They just make up random shit no matter what. They'll say whatever.
Oh, I
They'll
feel
say
you
I killed
on
my own
that.
mother just to say it, and people are like, "Yeah, I heard she did too." Blah blah blah.
Jed wants my mother dead so he can laugh. I mean, how low can you go?
It's insane.
Unfortunately, depending upon past behaviors, people will always believe certain things, and that's fact.
And don't forget, I'm a racist, but I'm a superhero.
That's how they do it.
To be honest, Laura, I believed it. Just yeah, I'm not afraid to tell you that. Like just like Granny said, I figured, oh, well, my statement is very clear. If you said it, I would believe you said it, and people would be outraged. But if Clue said it, it would be hysterical. I stand on that. That's how I felt.
No, I
Uh,
agree with that though. That is
See,
true.
I
there's your
disagree, and I'll tell you
feelings.
why. Because there's this narrative that nobody ever pushes back against anything Clue says or does. I often tell Clue, I think you took it too far here. I don't like that you did
Oh,
that.
yeah?
People do speak up. I don't think many people would find it to be hysterical. I think that's some type of like personal disdain that makes people feel or think that way.
You
What
don't
the hell
want
is
your
your
chat
avatar,
then.
Tim?
That's the pinky fingers
Yeah, I mean, I know
Oh,
who it is, but why?
beat him.
because he said I only have pinky fingers.
Oh, okay.
Who?
What's going on? I heard what's going on with me. I heard someone.
What's going on with me? You've been listening the whole time, beat Tim. You're just like these women. Oh my gosh. I know. And mom is fine. She had a headache this morning, but she's having her coffee now. And she looks, how you doing, mommy?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody. I hope you have a great day.
Do you have any advice for people this morning?
Just one day at a time.
One day at a time. YouTube wouldn't let me call you a bitch. Really? Damn it. Why not? That's so unfair. Ah, I'll call myself a bitch. I am a bitch. I am. I, I did a test with a friend, I don't know, a couple months ago or something, because this bitch stuff, coming out. And I said, "You're a bitch." He says, "Yeah, so are you." And we laughed and had coffee. I, damn it, YouTube. Damn it. You can't call me a bitch. Jeez. Maybe biatch. Maybe I'll let you type that in status.
I
I
caused a
like the
ruckus because
cat.
of in chat I said about I heard Laura saying that she called the baby clubby, and I thought when you said about a
Uh,
receipt, I said I don't know if it's true that was going to be like enough, but I guess it's not. So
What do you
my
uh-huh.
mean?
bad.
There is no receipt. I didn't hear. I just said I was asking for a receipt because I've never heard.
Beat them. Stop it. You, they like to play dumb. Uh, I was gonna say something. I forgot what I was gonna say. Shit. It's gone. I looked at mom and it left, so it must be something I wasn't supposed to say.
Heard anyone say that name, so I
Uh,
didn't know.
Right.
I
Yeah,
didn't
and I
know
think
who
uh,
that
said
would
it.
be the end of it, you know?
this chat.
Okay, so why am I why am I being brought up?
Oh,
Because
why?
I said because it's my comment, and I said B Thug read on panel that I
Be
didn't know if it was
thugged.
true and that you need a receipt. So that was like enough for me. Like you're like we need a receipt before we run with that, you know? But it's already too late.
Oh, okay.
Too
I mean,
late.
yeah, I would like to see a clip. That's the problem with Brittany J. She says things and never brings clips. So I don't know who
Right.
said that. I don't have a clue. I wouldn't say that. I don't think it's a good fucking name to.
Oh, but I do bring receipts. And everybody that knows me knows I definitely bring receipts on everything. Right, Jed? Oh, what a fantastic time we had yesterday. I it was, oh my gosh. Shay, ooh, baby.
To say about a baby because
I
at the end
agree.
of the day, it's a child, and I don't agree with saying that about a child.
Uh-huh.
I agree. I think it's disgusting.
And
You know,
you're
that's my
talking
opinion.
about it.
But I mean,
Stop
I'm not. But the
talking
thing
about
is,
it.
like, I've learned a little bit that
You need
honestly, there's a
help,
lot of
Mom?
fucked up things on this platform. And I'm just like, that will be the
Oh,
list of things. Unfortunately, making names for a baby is probably goes on the
who's
list,
cooking?
but not the top of the list. Like for instance, what's the
You
guy
need
who
help?
foyas a person once a
Okay.
week,
You
or a
okay?
guy that literally threatened to punch a woman in the
Okay.
face and break her teeth out
Doesn't
in their
look
live
like
stream.
it.
No,
And
I agree, but I also think that's part of the
I,
problem with
uh,
the whataboutisms because the fact
let
of
me
the
get it.
matter is saying that about a baby is
There you go.
horrific.
Let me
It
just
doesn't
reach
doesn't
over
take
you.
away all the other horrific things people have said and done. And you're right, what he has
There
said
we
and done is
go.
absolutely horrific.
you know, when you have like Brittany J in the chat
Well,
cheering on,
try
like,
that
you know,
one.
assaulting a woman
Right.
with
It's
makeup
not as
mobster and the
good,
rest,
but
you know, and foyering a woman once a week and basically spreading lies
I
and
think
saying
you
that
need
she's having an
another
sexual
Tylenol.
relationship with her brother and saying that she's having sex with her brother and also
Oh
stating that
my
I'm
gosh, the
apparently going to
things they
kidnap children.
say.
I'm sorry, but like, I'm
He
not gonna give a fuck
outdid
about
his
Brittany
own
J. I'm sorry.
stupidity,
The
yeah.
lady cheers this shit on. I don't care. I'm not gonna care at this point. She cheers on those things. So you other people
Who?
can
What did
be
I
the
miss?
moral police when it comes to that. I don't give a fuck.
Moral
I'm gonna be
police.
completely honest with you with her. I'm
Oh,
not gonna
for
defend
Pete's
her.
sakes.
Sorry. The dead lady is a nasty lady that sits in a chat and cheers on making
Who?
claims that BJ like Queen is having sex with her brother.
She literally sat on
What?
a panel with a rumor that I masturbate in bed with
Oh,
my son.
what?
Yes.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
agree with you there, but I want to make
It's,
myself very clear. I'm not defending Brittany. I don't give a
is
fuck.
nothing sacred anymore? Is there nothing? Uh, uh, any limit to the vile shit people say online? You think you can just say anything you want to without proof because nobody can see you. You're behind a computer. Because you can. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Mom can't hear any of this. I have my headsets on. She's safe.
Fuck what is said about that heifer. I do think that I'm
Heifer.
defending us as a community that we're better than to go around nicknaming a baby something so
Yeah,
I
stupid
agree.
and
I
ignorant and
agree.
clubby.
You're better than I know a couple of people are going to zap me and be really pissed off at me that I'm doing this. And I'm sorry. But I'm watching this chat and learning uh, the emotional intelligence of these people and actually the actual intelligence of people too.
Yep.
It's
I
a
agree,
riot.
but Bridget can defend herself. I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to control what I say. If I heard someone say that on the panel, I'd say, "Ma'am or sir, do not say that. That's disrespectful to the child.
Ma'am,
The child doesn't
sir.
have a say, unfortunately. You know what I mean? To who their parents are. Her
Her
parents are
baby's
Ma'am,
innocent as hell.
sir.
the baby's innocent. It's gone through enough in
Oh,
life so far. It's a tough situation. Personally,
yeah.
I'm trying to avoid talking about the baby. Honestly,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly.
you know what I
Because
mean?
that's Bernie's shield from criticism. That's Brittany's big woe is me. Oh, they called the baby.
Honestly, you try to avoid talking about the baby. That's all you guys are talking about. Nonstop. Brittany's baby. You're doing it right now on this live stream. It's pathetic. It's ridiculous. You are making an entire live stream about a baby and who said what and where and when and how. That justifies this ridiculous plan of four that you got on this panel. Look at this. Four people on this panel. And all you're doing is talk about Britney's baby and how bad it is to talk about Britney's baby. But hey, whatever gets the views, right?
Be clubby, and it's like, okay. Meanwhile, your mods called my daughter a whore, being gang banged by men in and out
Oh
of
my
hotel
gosh.
rooms. I
Nothing
mean,
is
you know what I mean? Like
sacred.
they've all said horrible things. So again,
Yes.
like I'm saying, I'm not defending Brittany. I'm just
Yeah.
saying we
Okay.
as a sector are better than to use stupid names like that. Brittany can nickname her baby all the stupid names in the world is her baby. Let's
Quick
be
question:
above that.
who said it? Do we know who said it?
Oh my
A
gosh.
chatter admitted they said it apparently.
So a chatter said it.
Yeah, a chatter.
Includes chat, not even my chat.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and that person just like it was just a chatter.
It
Yeah.
was Clue.
Okay, I mean,
That person was not me.
well, I know that. I know Samantha.
Uh-huh.
You don't say crazy things like that. You're
I
pretty
mean,
thick
I
and stuff.
heard it was just Samantha. I just don't remember
Oh my
where.
gosh.
I'm just kidding,
Oh
just Samantha.
shit.
I'm just kidding. And
Oh
just
shit.
Samantha would never say that. That's
No,
one
just
thing I will
Oh,
Samantha's
say.
right.
Ah,
Yeah,
listen, just
I
Samantha's a very
wouldn't call her.
sweet
I wouldn't
person.
call her
Nice
sweet,
person.
Right.
but she's fair and she doesn't go that low.
Believe me,
Oh,
she's a very
okay.
nice lady, Samantha.
Very fair.
She's a little bit too
Me.
nice. That's the problem. She's way too
Okay.
nice. That's the
You're
I
problem.
don't
right,
know
I
her.
am, and I've never been called a shit stirrer until recently, and I've been here for 3 years. So it's so crazy all
Ah,
of a sudden when you start speaking out or having a difference of opinion against people that the majority likes, then
they
all of a sudden you
are.
become all these things. It's like school, you're fat, you're ugly. Like, what are you
Well,
talking about? I'm just
that's a
one
far
person.
stretch. Calling you a shit star is a
No.
far.
You are. You're all shit stirrers at this moment in time. You're all shit stirrers. This is quite fascinating. I I don't know. I might. I know two people in particular are going to say, you said you weren't going to do it on this channel. It was going to be about the science, the psychology. This is psychology, though. And they're probably going to block me on their phone and never speak to me again. I told you she was going to do it. I knew she was going to do it. But it's too funny. All they're doing is trashing Britney on here. They hate Britney so bad. What is the obsession with BJ? I don't get it. She's a liar, a grifter, manipulator. But hello, uh, how many of you on this panel are manipulating right now? I, at this moment in time? How many of you are manipulating your audience? I don't understand the obsession with Britney. Britney makes her own hole. Yeah, she just it. It's like a revolving door because it, Britney feeds into it too, and that's how she manipulates her audience. Look, they're talking about me, and then Clue is absolute. That's all she does is cover Britney J. Jealousy pocket watchers. Ooh, that could be. Yeah. It's like that's your life. That's your life. Picking up on every single sound in Brittany J's house. Really? Yeah, that's it. That, that's your claim to fame. And I understand Granny's plight, right? But you're using Brittany too. And Brittany's using you. You're all using each other. Every last one of you. I don't to me, it's comical, but I'm learning a lot from this sector. Ours is mild, calm, cool, collective compared to these, I don't even know what to call them. People. I'll call them people. I'll be nice. It's just like, I don't know. I guess the one on the far left has been ostracized from the community, but then she started talking about Brittany J and how bad Brittany is, and then they took her back into their fold. Who knows? And they love to copyright strike and all this shit, but I don't care. I don't care. Uh, Status is Delmar running today? I'm not sure. I haven't looked. What is today? Sunday? Oh, okay. Yeah, they're running today. So, Saratoga. Anyways, yes. I'll play a little bit more and then we'll get off here. I just want to watch the chat. It's like, why do you watch this? It, think about why you're don't think about the words that the creator is saying. Think about why you're watching it, why you're commenting what you're commenting, how you're feeling at the time, and why you're feeling it. Oh,
Far stretch because when I get screenshots of you in Discord intentionally trying to get Queen to turn against me, I'm gonna call you a shit stir.
I
Okay.
already told you that that's ridiculous, and, like, you've been hear yourself. How can I get Queen to turn against you?
By trying to feed
Queen's her own
negativity to her. Did
person.
you hear Granny say this? Did you see this? Well, what do you think about that? That's like
Queen
laying it down to somebody's
My
mind.
gosh.
Queen is her own person. She's
Of course
very
she is.
strong-willed. Nobody's gonna change her mind. In Discord, if
Oh,
what do you
Queen
think
is
we
a
do in there?
bitch.
We talk about shit on YouTube, but the majority of the stuff I talk about,
Uh,
which I shouldn't, is personal and private. My dad has
uh,
Parkinson's right now, so
But just,
I'm
you
in
know,
there. Are they telling me that I'm in there and I'm talking,
oh,
and the girls are helping me get all the shit together, like keeping
why are you putting that information out on YouTube? Why would you? Ah, just,
me soloable with what I'm dealing with. You know what I'm
uh,
saying? That's more what I'm doing in Discord. If I'm
I
oh,
don't
talking
know
about
what
you, Granny, then other people are talking about you and you become a topic from whatever you said. That's no different from if Laura says something, if Clues says something. We're in a
oh, for
Discord. We
Pete's
talk about
sakes.
the YouTube events just like everybody else. And it doesn't mean that they're all
YouTube
negative
events?
either.
yeah,
Sometimes we
that's
laugh.
too much.
What?
Does anyone know if it was a regular chat or it's just a random?
Oh, I
Oh,
only
for
a regular
Pete's
chatter. I only get
sakes.
screenshots of the just negative things being said. I'm sorry for what you're going
Oh,
through with your father. I'm
um,
just pointing out that people that the shit stir comment came up from the comments that you're making.
well, I mean, the person that's sending you screenshots is also a shit star, to be
Oh,
honest
I
with you.
agree. I
oh,
agree.
for
To be
Pete's
honest with
sakes.
you.
It doesn't feel good to know that a Discord's trashing you, right? You know what I mean?
So why
Welcome.
don't
Well, it might not feel good, but people are going to talk about you. It doesn't matter what you say. Uh, people don't like your voice. They don't like your tone. They don't like what you cover on your channel. They just don't like you. Oh, Conscious, you're a bitch. I can't wait till your mother dies so I can laugh. Ah, ha, ha. People, you have to laugh at people like that because they're just trying to stir you up. And it works. Apparently, with this bunch of people, who knows? Anyways, uh, that's about all I have. But I might try a week of just playing these people, what they, and just concentrate on their chat, what they say, how their chat reacts. I know there's a couple of people. I knew she was gonna do it. But I don't see any bolts coming down, so they're probably clicked me off already. Who knows? I'm gonna go have coffee with mom and get some lunch. It's almost lunchtime. Who knew? Time flies. Anyways, emotional debt. I think these people have a lot of emotional debt, and that's all I got. I'm not even gonna play an outro, so. The coffee's good, Wyoming. Enjoy your coffee with your husband. Karis, Beth, keep up the good work. Holly, have a great day. Monique, have a great day. Status, enjoy. And I'm sorry you couldn't call me a bitch in the chat. It's terrible. Okay, we're out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.